Hello, learners. Welcome to LC Academy and welcome back to our new MERN Stack journey. In this session, we are going to start our new course that is MERN Stack Development. If you are ever wondered how websites like Google, Instagram, Facebook, or Amazon are built, then you are right place. In this course, we are going to learn how to modern web applications are created from scratch to using the MERN Stack. MERN Stack stands for MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, and Node.js. This technology helps developer build a complete web application from a beautiful user interface to powerful backend system and also a database. Don't worry if you are complete beginner, we will start from the basics and gradually move towards building a real-time projects. By the end this journey, you will understand how full stack web development works and you will be available create your own web application. Okay, let's get into the video. Now, first is what is web development? Before learning MERN Stack development, let's first understand what is web development actually means. Okay, a web development is the process of creating a websites and web applications that run inside a web browser. Okay, whenever you open a website such as Google, YouTube, Instagram, or any other social media websites or e-commerce websites, you are using something that was built by a web developer. Okay, a web development consists of these three important parts. The first one is web itself, which is global network connecting billion of websites and some applications around the world. The second one is code. Developer use programming languages like HTML, CSS and JavaScript to create websites and make them interactive. Okay. Third one is goal. The goal of web development is not just writing code. It's about solving the real world problems and creating a useful user experienced websites. For an example, food delivery apps helps to people order food in online. Banking websites are users easily check her bank status. And e-commerce websites helps to customers buy the product easily in that process. So web development is all about turning ideas into a digital solution. Okay, so web development is creating a new websites and web applications run by browser. Okay, and then front end versus back end. Now let's understand the two major parts of every web application, that is front end and back end. Front end is everything user can see in interact with. Like if you are opening one web page, you can see a button, navigation bar, forms, image, colors, the layouts, and then some animation effects. All are the part of front end. Okay, the front end is mainly done using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, in the MERN Stack, React is used to build a modern front end application. On the other hand, we have a back end. It's the part of working behind the scene. User cannot directly see the back end, but it's perform very important task. Like in front end, we can see a button, nav bar, and some animation effects, the images. So the back end give the functions and actions for that UI basics. Okay, so the backend handle the server logic, APIs, security, and communication with the database. In MERN Stack development, Node.js and Express.js are responsible for the backend development. Okay, Think of it in the way like the front end like a restaurant dining area, okay, where the customers sit and place the orders. And then the back end is like a kitchen where all the cooking and processing happens in that kitchen. So both are equally important for building a successful application. Okay, now I understand. Now I can hope you can understand what is front end and what is back end. Simply it tells front end is the client side and then back end is the server side. Okay, and then what is full stack development? Now that we understand front end and back end, let's talk about the full stack development. The combination of front end, back end, database. These three main uh, elements are combined, that is called full stack development. Okay, a full stack developer is someone who can work on both front end and back end on a applications. This means they can create a user interface, develop server side logics, and manage the database also. So there are three major layers in the full stack application. You can see this diagram clearly. Okay. Now the first layer, the first layer is called front end. The front end is user can see the websites. Okay. And then the second layer is backend. The backend is the which handle the business logics and the API securities. Okay, and inside of the circle, this third one is database. The third layer is the database where the application database is stored permanently. Okay, for an example, when you create an Instagram account, your information saved in the database. Okay, full stack developers understand how all these layers work together. Because of this, companies highly value full stack developers since they can build complete applications independently. Okay, that's exactly what will be learned using MERN Stack development. Okay. In this video, we can fully learn what is MERN Stack and what are the important things in MERN Stack. Okay, we will see the next video in coding related. Okay, now meet the MERN Stack. Let's now meet the four technologies that makes upon the MERN Stack. The first technology is MongoDB. MongoDB database is used for store the application data. It stores the data in flexible document-based format. There are many other databases are there like MySQL, NoSQL, SQL. These are the any other database, but ManStack have a MongoDB database. It stored the data in their data format. Okay. And then the second one is Express.js. Express.js is lightweight framework that helps us create the API and manage server routes easily. Okay. And then the third technology is React.js. The React.js is a front-end library developed by a developed by a Facebook, now known as Meta. Okay, now we all are using Meta using for asking questions and related to the we can clear our doubts. So the React is library developed by a Facebook. Okay, and then last one is Node.js. This Node.js allows JavaScript to run outside the browser and helps us build a backend application. One of the biggest advantages of MERN Stack is that all four technologies use JavaScript. This means we only need to learn one programming language and can use it across the entire application. Okay. How MERN Stack application? Okay, the next technique is how MERN Stack applications work together. Okay, now let's understand how these technologies work together in the real applications. Imagine a user click a login button. First, React send the request from the browser. Next, Express and Node.js receive the request and process the business logics. Okay, then if user data need to check not node.js communicate with MongoDB. If the user's email ID and password are correct, if there is already created or it's not there, the MongoDB will check. So the MongoDB either stores the new data or retrieves existing data. After that, the response travel back through the server. Finally, React receives the response and updates from the user interface. Okay, this entire process happens within the milliseconds. Every times you log in, register, like place and orders or update your profile, this flow takes place behind the seconds. Okay, understand this data's flow is most important concept in full stack development. First of all, the React send to the request from the browser, and the Node.js and Express.js will applies the business logic, and the MongoDB stores the data or already existed data. Then the React will again update the user interface for the response. Okay. Next one is your development toolkits. In this MERN Stack development, what are the tools are used? Okay, before we start coding, we need to save some important tools. The first one is Visual Studio Code. It's commonly called VS Code. This is one of the most popular code editor used by developers worldwide. If you are need to write a code, you can first of all install the VS Code and you are write your code in your Visual Studio Code. Okay, it's very lightweighted, powerful, and supported thousands of useful extensions. You can directly install the extensions inside the VS Code. Okay, the second tool is Node.js. Node.js allows us to run JavaScript on your computer and provide the npm, which is the package manager used to install libraries and dependencies. Okay, and then the next third tool is Git is the version control system that track changes in our code. It's allow us to collaborate with our other developers and manage the project efficiently. Together, VS Code, Node.js, and Git from the foundation of the professional web development environment. These three tools are very important to handle the MERN Stack development or your full stack development without any interactions. Okay, then it's hands on your first project folder. Now it's time to do our first practical activity. You can pause this video and you are open your Visual Studio Code and step one by one. Okay, then first step is creating a new folder using the command. You can open your command terminal and write mkdir, I mean mk direct my first man app. Okay, you can write the first this command in your command section. Okay, then this command create a new dictionary for your project. And then step 2 is entering the folder using cd my first man app. Okay, Now we are inside the project dictionary. Step 3 is initializing Git. We do this using git init, okay? Git init. And then this command starts the version control of our project. And then the next one is initialize node. Finally, initialize the node means npm init y. Okay, npm init y. This command creates a package.json file which stores projects informations and dependencies. Okay, now you can correctly walk this 4 steps. You are created your first professional project structure of developer. Okay, so you can stop the video and you can create your new project folder. Okay, now what you have learned today? Let's quickly review everything we have learned in today's section. We learned what web development is and how websites are built. We understand the difference between front end and back end and database. We explored full stack development and the responsibility of full stack developer. Like for full stack developer have a what are the tools, how to understand the front end, back end and database. We explored full stack development and their responsibilities. We met the 4 technologies of the MERN Stack development, that is MongoDB, Express.js, React.js and Node.js. We also understood how data flow through the MERN Stack application, like the React send the request to the browser and Node.js and Express.js visit the database. This flows we can understand, and finally we install the essential tools and create our project folder. This is the foundation upon which we will build all future projects. Okay. Okay guys, I hope you can understand this video. You can pause the video and you can create your first MERN Stack app. Okay, MERN Stack folder. We will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching LC Academy. Thank you.